Okay, hi everyone, welcome back once again. We're going to be doing some linear functions. So let's get into it. I already posted a video very similar to this one. These are just a little different, but same concept. Write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line through the given points. Now what's slope-intercept? Y equals mx plus b, in which m is our slope. We're given 2 points. First, let's find the slope. How do you find slope? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We can label them. So x1, y1, x2, y2. Let's go. Okay, let's plug this in. -2 plus 4, because if it were -2 minus -4, this will become positive, because a negative and a negative makes a positive, over -2 minus 1. -2 plus 4 is going to be 2. -2 minus 1, -3. So our slope is -2/3. In order to put it in slope-intercept form, first we have to put it in point-slope form. What is point-slope form? Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. We plug in our values. We can plug in either of these two. I'm going to use this one just because it has one of them is positive, but it doesn't really matter. You're going to get the same answer. And the slope is this, which is what we found. Okay, y minus our y1 in this case is -4, but it's a minus. It's going to be plus 4 equals our slope is 2/3, -2/3, x minus 1, which is our y, which is our x. Okay, let's multiply everything by 3 so that we can get rid of that fraction. Plus 3 over 4 equals -3, 2/3, x minus 1. When we are multiplying this 3, we don't distribute it into this smaller parentheses. It's just what's on the outside of the parentheses. So 3y plus 12 equals, these cancel, -2x minus 1. Let's distribute this -2 into the parentheses. But first, let me shrink this because I won't have space. Okay. 3y plus 12 equals, distribute -2 times x, -2x. -2 times -1 is going to be +2 because a negative and a negative is a positive. Minus 12, 3y equals -2x, 2 minus 12, -10. Now we divide by 3. Y equals -2/3 x minus 10 over 3. That's our answer in point slope. Not in point slope. That's our answer in slope-intercept form. Let's do it once again. First, let's find our slope. Let's label our x's and y's. So that we don't get confused. How do we find our slope? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 is -3, y1 is 5, x2 -3, x1 1. -3 minus 5 is -8. -3 minus 1 is -4. We can simplify this to be 8 divided by 4 is 2. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And these are both negative, which means our answer is going to be positive. So our slope is just +2. in order to write this in slope-intercept form, we have to plug it into point slope. Point slope is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Let's plug things in. I'm going to use these coordinates just because they're both positive, but you can use either. Y minus our y1 is 5 equals the slope that we got was 2. X minus our x1, in this case, is 1. We don't have to get rid of any fractions, so let's just distribute that 2 to x minus 2. Let's add 5 to the other side. Y equals 2x, negative 2 plus 5 is going to give us 3, so plus 3. That's our answer. Let's go to number 3. Write the standard form of the equation of the line through the given point in the given slope. What is standard form? Let's do green. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. We're given some coordinates and a slope. So let's do it. First, we have to plug it into point slope. Point slope is y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. We're given the slope, we're given the coordinates as x is y. Let's plug everything in. Y minus our y1 is going to be 0 equals our slope is negative 1 over 5. X minus 5, which is our x. Let's multiply everything in the equation by 5 so that we can get rid of that fraction. Okay. Now, once again, let me put this on the outside. Doesn't really matter that much, but it's fine. When we're multiplying this 5, we multiply it to the fraction, not to what's inside this small parentheses. So 5y equals, because negative 5 times 0, it's going to be 0. Anything multiplied by 0 is going to be 0, no matter what. These cancel, so this is going to be a negative 1, x minus 5. Now let's distribute that negative 1, negative x, plus 5, because a negative and a negative is going to give us a positive. And this would be negative 1x, but we don't usually write the 1 in front of the variable, so negative x. This question is asking us for standard form, which means that this x has to go over here. We can add x, or we can just change it to the other side and change the sign. If you're changing things from one side of an equation to another, you have to change the sign. X plus 5y equals 5. And that's our answer in standard form. Number 4, same thing, same concept. Let's do it. We're given the slope, we're giving a set of points. Let's put it in point slope form. Point slope form, y minus y1 equals x minus x1. Y minus, our y1 is negative 2. You see that? Negative and negative is going to make a positive. So we can just write y plus 2 equals, our slope is 7 over 2, x plus 2 once again because it's a negative and a negative, which makes it positive. Now let's multiply everything in the equation by 2 to get rid of that fraction. Two times y is 2y, 2 times 2 is 4. These would cancel, leaving us with 7x 2. Let's distribute that 7 into the parentheses. It's asking for standard form. We can subtract the 4, or we can move the 7 now. We subtracted the other side on the last one, so let's move the 7 first now. So minus 7x minus 7x, or you can just move it and change the sign. So negative 7x plus 2y plus 4 equals positive 14. This 4 doesn't belong here, so let's subtract it. Negative 7x plus 2y equals 10. We can't have a negative x. You can never have a negative x in front of an equation, which means that we have to change the sign. But if we change the sign, one sign, we have to change the sign of everything in this equation, which means our answer is going to be 7x minus 2y equals negative 10. And that's our answer in standard form. Let's go to number 5. Write the point-slope form of the equation of the line through the given points. We've been working with point-slope this entire time, so you should be pretty familiar with this. In these two questions, it's just asking for point-slope. Don't solve for anything else, don't distribute anything. You have to leave it in point-slope. First, let's find the actual slope. How do you find slope? y2 minus y1 equals x2 over x2 minus x1. Let's label them x1, y1, x2, y2. Our y2 is negative 4 minus 4, 2 minus 0. Negative 4 minus 4, what is this? Negative 4 minus 4 is going to be 0. Negative 4 minus 4 is negative 8. 2 minus 0 is 2. We can simplify this. We can divide it by 2. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. 2 divided by 2 is 2. So this is our slope. And now let's put it in point-slope form. Point-slope form is y minus y1 equals x minus x1. Y minus, you can choose either of these 2 points. That's fine. I'm going to do this one just because they're both positive. Y minus y1, y is 4, equals the slope that we got, negative 4, x minus 0. This is our answer because it's just asking for point slope, nothing else. Number 6, same thing, point slope form. Let's find our slope. How do you find slope? y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Let's label. Let's do it on the bottom, actually. Okay. So 4 plus 5, because a negative, it's a minus a negative, which is going to give us a positive, so it's going to be plus. 4 plus 5. 5 minus 0. 4 plus 5 is 9. 5 minus 0 is 5. So our slope is 9/5. Let's write it in point slope. What's point slope? Y minus y1 equals x minus x1. Let's write it now. Y minus, let's choose a point, a set of points. I'm going to choose these because they're both positive. You don't have to. You're going to get the same answer whichever set of points you choose. So y minus 4 equals the slope that we got, which is 9/5. X minus, our x is 5. And that's it. That is the answer. No simplifying, no distributing, no nothing. Point slope. Number 7. Well, 7 and 8. Write the slope-intercept form of the equation of the line described. Slope-intercept, we know what that is. We've done that before. Y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope. In this case, we're giving slopes and one set of data points. So it's going through these points and it's perpendicular to this. When it's perpendicular, the slope is going to be, it's reciprocal, so it's going to be flipped and the sign is going to be changed because it's perpendicular. So here the slope is negative 1/2. Our slope is going to be 2 over 1, which is 2. Flipped and the sign was switched. So this is the slope. Now to write it in slope-intercept, we first have to plug it into point-slope form, which as we've said in the entirety of this video, and I've repeated like 50 times, and you're probably tired of me repeating it, but you have to memorize it. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Plug in our points. Y minus 4 equals, our slope is 2. X is going to be x minus 3, which is x1. We have to distribute that 2 into the parentheses, so 2x minus 6. Add 4, cancel. 2x, negative 6 plus 4 is going to give me negative 2. Silly mistakes, but it happens. Do you guys hear that? That's a car. That's our answer. Now on to number 8. We have to find slope-intercept form once again. And once again, it's perpendicular, which means that this slope is going to be flipped and its sign is going to be changed. So old slope, new slope, 7 over 3, positive 7 over 3. First, we write it in point slope for the billionth time. Y minus y1 equals x minus x1. We're giving these points. Y. Do you guys hear that in the background? That's a car. Whose car? I don't know, but whatever. Y minus y1. Our y is negative 4. Going to be plus 4 because negative and negative makes a positive. Equals our new slope, 7 over 3. X plus 3. Negative and negative makes a positive. We've talked about this. Okay, let's multiply everything by 3 to get rid of the ugly fraction. Y plus 12 equals, cancel, 7. X plus 3. Let's distribute that 7 into the parentheses. 7x plus 21. Let me make this smaller. Okay. Oops. Subtract 12 from both sides. Equals now let's divide everything by 3. So our answer. And we can check our answer to these, because notice that the slope that we got here is the same as here, and the slope that we got here is the same as here, as well as if you flip it and negate it, it's the same as here and here. 2 more. Number 9. Write the standard form of the equation of the line described. Standard form we said was ax plus by equals c. We're giving a slope, we're giving points. In this case, it's parallel, which means that the slope will stay the same. You don't flip it, you don't negate it. If it's parallel, it's the same. Point slope first, so y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. Y minus, our y1 is -1, so it's going to be +1, equals our slope, 4/3. X minus 4. Multiply everything by 3 to get rid of that fraction. Three y plus 3 equals, cancel, 4x minus, I started distributing. Let me go slower. 4, and then x minus 4. Now we distribute. 4x minus 16. Subtract 3 from both sides. Shrink this once again. Okay. Now we divide everything by 3. Y equals 4/3x minus 19/3. That's going to be wrong. Okay guys, now it's asking for standard form, which means that our x has to be on the left. So we subtract 4x, or you can just move it and change the sign, because if you move something from one side of the equation to another, you have to change the sign. So -4x plus 3y plus 3 equals -16. This 3 doesn't belong here, so we subtract it. -4x plus 3y equals -19. And we can't have a negative x. We can't have a negative x in front of an equation, so we have to change its sign. And if you change the sign to one thing, you have to change the sign to everything. So our final answer is going to be 4x minus 3y equals +19. Number 10, last question. Same thing in standard form. It's parallel, so our slope is going to stay the same. And we have 2 points. Let's plug it into point slope, which is y minus y1 equals x minus x1. Y minus, our y1 is 5, m is -2, x plus 1, because it's being subtracted by a negative, which is going to make a positive, because negative and negative, positive. Now this one's quite easier, shorter, because we don't have a fraction, so let's just distribute this 2 into the parentheses, so -2x minus 2. And it's asking for standard form, which means that the x has to be on the other side. We can change it from sides and change its sign, or we can just do +2x, doesn't matter. So 2x plus y equals, -5 equals -2. This -5 doesn't belong here, so we change it to the other side. Cancel this, 2y plus 2x plus y. It happens. 2x plus y equals positive 3. That's our answer in standard form. And that's it for me. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, let me know.